Some of you, I suspect, might have looked at the website already, but this was an earlier version of it. It's been changing pretty much on the hoof. Again, one of the exciting things for me today is we brought another sponsor on board, which was William Hill. We'll send details of that to you, but basically every person who signs up from our website, we will be given a cheque. I don't know the exact amount just now because it was very much midnight last night. But again, it's a huge big brand. They've got 3,000 outlets. They've said that they will send the message for Stirling Albion that they're an official sponsor of Buy Stirling Albion into those 3,000 shops and also to all their online customers, of which there's about 4 million. So we need all that kind of coverage to kind of make the things work for us. So that's how we're doing there. This was the local business supporter pack that I alluded to earlier. This is the sticker that will go on, which will peel off, I hasten to add, anybody's got any retail outlets. There'll be one there for everybody to kind of pick up. It's £75 for a local business, and even the smallest local business will want to be involved. If Shop A's got the sticker up, we need Shop B to get the sticker up. And again, anybody who can help, just knock on the doors, wear the T-shirt, please talk to Steph, because we need to recruit as many of you as we can to get as much coverage as we can. You'll have probably seen the handiwork of Myth out in the wider world already. The banners are starting to appear. We've got a whole load of banners that we can move about, that we can get placed. And again, anybody that's got any input to having some great sites where we can get them displayed. It's all about the community. It's keeping the momentum of the campaign going and to make people see that we're serious. These banners cost £2,000. It's a lot of money, and we need them to be working for us. So we need no banners lying in a cupboard. We need all of them up. One of the things that's really surprised me about today in talking to radio and TV and things like that was nobody really latched on to this. I actually really expected this the most controversial part of the innovation, and it was the fact that we were actually saying that we would actually give potentially the name in front of prefix in front of Stirling Albion to a brand. So if you can imagine it's Ford Stirling Albion or something like that. And the reality is, sorry, I do apologise. I do apologise. So what we're looking at is potentially trying to get a brand on board who would actually give us a sum of money, and we're talking about £250,000, but that potentially is the type of money that we're talking actually buying the club. So it's that kind of figure that that you could actually bring in, and from a sponsor, you would giving away the name for 5-year period, but after that it reverts back to Stirling and Albion. I think things that one of the journalists asked, would the league wouldn't be particularly happy about it, and we'd cross that bridge if it came to it. If somebody was coming with a cheque of 250,000, we would, I'm sure, all rather have the name diluted for a few years rather than lose the name altogether. So I'll go back before going forward. I think You're Good Enough is one of the other innovations. I say there's a whole stack of these that we've got lined up, but we can't give them away. It just needs to go on a forum where the press go on and somebody says, "Oh, I see you're doing this," or "I see Ronaldo's got somebody else signed up," and it just will lose its impact. So it's all about managing the press to get as much coverage for us. But this one is very, very simple. It's Think You're Good Enough. It's something that I believe that a lot of football clubs have been doing in the past. And it's like if somebody out there thinks they're good enough to trial a team, we've got a club, we've got a manager, we've got coaching staff. Give that person a trial and let them actually pay for the privilege of doing that. So again, it's never been done by a football club in the world before. So it's another story that we've got. It's another string to our bow, and potentially it's a revenue stream. If there's 200 players turn up and pay £250, that's a sizable chunk of money that's come into the coffers for Stirling Albion. Now you've heard about this one. Really, the kind of closing messages from me on the campaign side is that there is no close. It's a start, and more than anything, the analogy I said in the radio. This is a cup final for Stirling Albion. If we got to the cup final, 20,000 people would turn up. and pay their £40. We've got to convert as many of those 20,000 people that we know. Another analogy was that somebody actually said to me, it's a bit like, somebody was going to give you flowers at your funeral. Don't give me the bloody flowers at the funeral. Buy a bloody Stirling Albion membership from me now before I go. And how many would turn up at your funeral? Well, a couple of hundred. We'll get those couple of hundred now and get them say, I want you to sign up. And you've got to think differently. This is the way that we've got to address this, because we've got to try and get the money in. And as you've probably heard, we've got a bit of help. Ronaldo and a few other celebs have added their weight to the campaign, and we'll be revealing some of them at appropriate times, because some of them have come from different sports, some of them are local. But to have his kind of weight behind it is really, really important. It really helped the hits today. And he genuinely has come from a community where he played for his local team, and through his charity, the reason he got involved was because we're actually featuring his chosen charity on our website, which is Shoe for Africa, which he's been involved in for many years. And the proceeds from all his commercial activities goes to that charity, which is not a fact that the press talk a lot about, obviously. But that's why we get involved, and it's great to have him along for what will be a very interesting journey.